Hello, 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 everybody. Hi, welcome to the Kathie J Show. I'm Kathie J. Thank you for taking some time to hang out with us this half hour. Anytime we get to be together, I love it. So thank you for taking the time out of your day. So today is a really special day. So I'm going to want you to share this everywhere you can because we got to get the word out. You can follow me on my social media. Kathie J On Air is where you can find it. You can find me at KathieJShow.com. And we have a YouTube channel as well. You just have to go there, like, and subscribe, and I would love you forever. But all of our past shows are there, and there's even a place for you to leave us some viewer emails. So today, the show that we're talking about today is long overdue. In fact, when I created the Kathie J Show, this was one of the shows I wanted to do, and it's about mental health in the military. When you see those stats, 22 in a day, a soldier dies every 80 minutes by the hands of suicide, those kind of stats are getting worse and worse, everybody. So I wanted to talk to you about it, see what we could do as civilians to try to help our men and women that are doing so much to fight for us. So I brought in one of the girls that knows this topic the best, everybody. She's a Denver girl. Sheila Hughes, everybody, licensed counselor as well as non-commissioned Air Force technician for your mental health team. Is that right?
Yes.
Yay,
yes.
Sheila Hughes, everybody. Okay, so thank you for being here, and thank you for taking this on. But it's so you're a Denver kid, and you're also a licensed counselor.
I am, yes.
But you've served in the military. You still are an active member, correct?
Yes. So I'm in the Air Force Reserves. Yes.
Right, and so that means what? You were in the Air Force, and now what is the reserves part?
So I've been a reservist from the beginning. So I joined. So basically, what it means is, the first weekend, usually of every month, I go to my unit and I do training.
Gotcha, and that's in Illinois.
Yes.
Where you go? Okay, so
Yes.
You go to Scott Air Force Base.
I do.
Okay, and you said that you kind of are like run the mental health team. For your team, you kind of run the mental health part of it.
Right.
What do you do? Does every single team have one of you?
So our specific. So I'm with the 932nd.
Okay.
MDS or medical squadron.
I'm with the 932nd. I've always wanted to say stuff like that.
And so it's a medical unit. So mental health is considered medical in the military.
Right.
So we are a mental health unit. The way the military is set up is most medical units, it's hard
You're
to break
fine.
it down.
No, I get it.
I'm trying to think of an easy way to break it down, but
I know it's very difficult. There's a lot of different branches and everything happening.
is.
It's hard for civilians to speak your language, so thank you for trying to break it
yes,
down.
and I don't want to just give you all of these,
Right.
acronyms and letters, but we have a wing, and it goes down to like a wing, squadron, unit. So there's a structure. But I am in the 932nd. I'm part of a unit, and we have a mental health team.
And all of the different units have mental health teams. Is that right?
Not all of the different units, no.
Okay.
So that's one of the reasons that I am at Scott. I fly to Illinois because Buckley doesn't have a mental health reservist unit.
Wow. Okay, but they need one. We're learning they all need one.
It would be nice.
They need one.
It would be nice.
Are they all experts like yourself, licensed professionals, or are you one of the only ones?
No, so in my team, we're enlisted. So we have enlisted and we have commissioned officers that also do mental health. But I'm on the enlisted side, and so my background is mental health, but the rest of my team is not. I have someone, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, keep going.
I have someone who's in accounting, someone who is a teacher, and
they're all trying to help with mental health?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So when we come back, I want to know how that works.
Sure.
Okay, yeah. So after the break, everybody, Sheila's going to explain the life of a soldier versus being a civilian. We'll be back. Yes. Ramos Law is an official partner of the Kathie J Show. He's a medical doctor and a lawyer. Ramos Law, what makes us different makes us better. Welcome back to the Kathie J Show. Today we're speaking with my girl, Sheila Hughes. Yay! She's a licensed professional counselor. She's an author, and she's also an Air Force mental health technician. Now, this was a horrible statistic, Sheila. According to StopSoldierSuicide.org, by 2030, in about 8 years, the total of veteran suicides is going to be 23 times higher than the number of post-9/11 combat deaths. Okay, like if that just made you give you chicken skin, it should, everybody. So Sheila, that's really these are your men and women that you're serving with. What's going on?
Oh, I feel like there's a number of things. Definitely transitioning from being in the military, like you said, veterans, it's hard because in the military you're somebody. You're a hero. You're honored, and then when you're out of the military, you're just a regular old Joe, and people don't see all of the things that you went through, or that you experienced, or that you did when you served.
And it is hard. The things, I mean, is there a branch that has more suicides than another branch?
I would think Army, Marines.
Army and Marines. That is the research I had too when I was. Why do you think that is?
I'm not sure with the Marines. I know with the Army, I think it has a lot to do with the number of deployments and the length of time, because historically the Army deploys more, and they deploy for like 15 months, 12 months.
Yeah, that's a long time to be gone from your friends, from that. You also had told me when we were talking about this, there is something to be said about camaraderie. And what you as soldiers have and live with when you are deployed and together.
Definitely.
Right?
Definitely.
And then when you don't have that, that also affects you.
It does.
And I could see that for sure. But to go to the extent that it's suicide, like what is taking them that step further? Because all of us have spent years away, at college or this or that. But what is it where the military is different?
Well, when you say spend time away, like, it's difficult. I can only speak from my experience. I haven't deployed or been sent down range, but when I go away for trainings, I'm away from my daughter, I'm away from my family for months at a time.
Yeah, right.
And that's very difficult because you miss out. And when you come back, it's like you have to start all over.
Yes.
And so I can't imagine being married and being gone for 15 months or 12 months and then coming back, we change.
Oh no, absolutely. You were saying now it's hard. People come back and they're like, now I have to be with my wife for 24 hours a day, and I've only seen her via Zoom for 10 minutes at a time. It's a totally different world. Right. They had asked. It's crazy because we are right here next to Fort Carson, and they did a big study up there, and they asked 72 soldiers that had thought of committing suicide or they gave them like 33 different reasons, and they said, well, tell me why you would commit suicide. And the one that they all put down, they put a lot down, but the one in particular that always came up was this intense anxiety of emotion that they can't let go of. And I get that. You guys are around guns, you're shooting, the things you're seeing and hearing. I mean, why does the military not understand that you guys are going to need help to mentally process all that?
I feel like now the culture is changing in the military. They are trying to do that. For instance, I know my team at Scott, I want to say last month, we just went and met with the individuals that came back from deployment.
Yeah.
So we're trying to make those transitions easier. We're trying to give them the resources, let them know that we're available, and we're here to help with that because it is difficult.
It is so hard. The risk for suicide is the highest in that first year that they come back. I also read that a lot of soldiers have problems keeping their bills or their lights on, their electricity on in the first year, getting bills paid. And that is horrible to me to think that someone that just put their life on the line is in the house next door to me and can't keep their lights on. So that's where I'm trying to get the urge out to all of us. We can help ease their pain so they don't, because that's just another stress that they don't have to deal with. And the common stressors that they're dealing with are completely different from our stressors because you guys are already going in with combat like in your head. So when we come back, everybody, Sheila's going to break down the stigmas that exist and why they are so dangerous to our soldiers. We'll be back. Kathie J. Oakwood Homes is an official partner of the Kathie J Show. Oakwood Homes, building happiness. Welcome back to the Kathie J Show, everybody. Sometimes in life you just gotta laugh. You gotta find your laughter and your happiness because life can be hard. And today we're talking about mental health in the military, something that is extremely hard. So we look to our soldiers to be strong. You gotta hold it together. We don't expect them to ever be weak. And so, but you can't expect somebody to go through what you guys go through and not have weak moments. Right. So everybody, this is Sheila Hughes. Yay! Sheila is, she's a Denver kid. She's also an Air Force mental health technician as well as a licensed counselor. Now, Sheila, when people come to you, because you help out your team at Scott Air Force Base, what are you hearing when the soldiers are coming to you?
So that's hard because we're still trying to get them to speak up more.
Yes.
Our mental health team is trying, and we have great leadership that support that, but we're really trying to start sparking those topics. So every month we come with something new and different, but it's been a little difficult. It's been a little difficult to get them to speak. On the civilian side, I am actually working with a lot of military members as well.
Okay.
And some of the things that I hear are, my wife wants me to show emotion. What? I didn't have to show emotion when I was focusing on a mission.
Right.
And I had to deal with all these, complaints, and I'm constantly doing this wrong, and I'm not working with the kids right, and I lose my temper too fast. So that's a big thing that I'm hearing on the military.
Oh, I get that. And so let's go into the stigmas that have been created, which is one of the reasons why these soldiers aren't wanting to share with you.
Right.
The biggest stigma is, like I said, coming into the break, you're tough. You can handle it. You got to focus and move on.
Right.
That's the wrong stigma.
It is, because we're still humans. We're not robots.
Yes, you are.
Yes.
So what do you try to tell? How do you tell a man that, has done some of the things that our soldiers have done? How do you tell him to open up and tell me your feelings?
Right. Well, usually I start off by asking, what do you feel when your wife says that? Or, vice versa, when your husband says that. Like, what do you feel? What are your emotions? And sometimes they don't know. They don't have answers, because when you're focusing on a mission, you don't really have time for that. You have to, and that's when we're out in the field, or when we're training, or whatever the situation is, downrange in a deployed situation, your attention is on that mission.
Gotcha.
You don't have time for your baby crying. That's why your baby's not there.
Right.
Or your wife or husband being upset. That's why they're not there.
Right. No, totally.
So we're operating on a very intense level. So when you come home, your mind is still there.
And that's got to be hard. I mean, you're used to yelling orders, and now you have these little kids that you can't be yelling orders at, and you do have to change everything that you've been taught as a soldier. You got to unprogram yourself to learn how to be a civilian. So one of the other things that I've heard a stigma is, if you speak up, it would ruin your career.
Right.
Is that true?
No, it's not. So there are situations where you may need your mental health is more important right now than your mission.
Oh,
right?
Gotcha. Right.
Right. If you're feeling suicidal, if you're feeling like hurting someone else, then you may be put on leave, and they're going to try. Well, the thing is, I noticed the military is trying to get the help we need. So we have different levels. If you feel like you're on that level that's very acute, we have mental health clinics.
Okay.
To help. If it's just something like anxiety, depression, we have. It used to be called BHOP, but behavioral health. So that's for lower level. You just may need tools.
Yeah, you're
so
right.
So we have a lot of resources.
So you were saying that you guys always have debriefings on suicide and mental health now. You guys are always having nonstop discussions and getting emails from the government reminding all of you to watch your mental health, right?
We do have to stay in regulation. So we do now. It is beefed up, it is bumped up. So we just did suicide prevention last week. So yes, we're doing that more, briefings on that.
Yeah, because they need it. Because, so tell me about the transitioning. What are some of if the first year is the worst for soldiers, which I get, you're coming home and like you said, you got to not yell at your kids. What other problems are they having with transitioning? Getting a job?
Getting a job, definitely. There are companies that I've noticed that do hire vets.
But not enough.
But not enough.
Right.
So that's awesome, but it is hard. It is hard, and something that I've noticed from being on both sides is in the civilian side, it's hard to get that respect and that camaraderie, right?
Yeah, right.
Because on the military side, we both been through the same thing. We both made it through basic. We both had to embrace the suck. So I respect you and you respect
Sorry, what
me.
did you call it?
We have to embrace the suck. That's what they
That's
say.
That's exactly what it would feel like, right? That's why most of us don't do it, because we know that it would suck.
Right.
So God bless all of you that go through
well,
it.
We do.
Thank you.
And it gives us it gives us a different respect when I see someone in a military uniform.
Totally. You're already there.
Yeah,
right.
we went through that together.
As civilians, is there things that we can do to help like if someone we know that they're now our new coworker and they're there? I mean, obviously you don't want to be coddled. That's the last thing I'm going to do to a soldier.
No, we do not want that. I think just treating us as individuals, because people have these stereotypes already.
Yes.
And so they treat us that way.
Yeah, right. And what about the homeless problem? Because a lot of the homelessness, they're vets. I mean, do you guys have programs that are helping them?
So I don't know of any on my end.
Right.
I'm sure there are.
I'm sure mental health and homeless, I'm sure goes
Oh,
hand
definitely.
in hand. Right.
Definitely. Now, that's actually one population I don't have a lot of personal experience with, but I know there's a lot of I can't think of the proper word.
You're the
co-occurring.
Okay.
Co-occurring. I can't think of the right word, but basically there's mental health and then there's substance use.
Oh, right.
And so when those come together, it's not good. And I get it because they're trying to self-medicate.
I would, yeah,
but,
absolutely. I mean, some of
right.
us just have normal things happen to us and we need to self-medicate. I couldn't
Right.
imagine going through what you all have seen.
Right.
I was somewhere once and I was with a friend and he had a PTSD episode, and it was terrifying. And if his cousin wasn't there to tell me to just be calm and stay there,
Right.
I don't know what I would have done. And so I was thinking, how many civilians, we don't know how to help someone that, I mean, it came on like that.
Right.
And he was all of a sudden taken back to a horrible place. And I mean, like I could just see the pain in his face.
Right.
So when we come back, I want you, she's going to drop some tools, everybody, for you if you are going through a PTSD episode, and for the rest of us, how we can help when we come back.
Kathie J.
The Colorado Lottery is an official partner of the Kathie J Show. Colorado Lottery, play on.
Kathie J.
Welcome back to the Kathie J Show, everybody. Today we've been learning about a small glimpse of what our men and women in the military experience during and after their service. The suicide numbers that we've been talking about this half hour, it's more than the 22 a day now. It's more than one soldier every 80 minutes. It's too many soldiers, and it's a grim reminder of the importance that we need for mental health resources. My guest today is Air Force mental health technician Sheila Hughes. Sheila is also a licensed counselor, and you're taking new clients, correct?
I am. Yes.
Okay, yes, at glowupconsulting.com.
Yes.
What's your approach for how you help people?
So I'm very person-centered. So it depends on the person.
Yeah.
And what their needs are. There are some people that are very to the, they need something in writing, they need work to do. So I give homework to some individuals.
Right.
I really like cognitive behavioral therapy. Some people just need talk therapy. They just need someone to listen to them. They holding this inside and they want to get it out.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of different approaches. It's just based on the person.
And I'm sure the soldiers that come to you, they really appreciate that you're a soldier as well. You already get
Yes.
it. And you're parents, so you get it.
Yes.
You get to understand the responsibility. What I wanted to know, like, I always hear horror stories of vets saying that they tried to ask for help and that they couldn't get it from the VA and stuff. You say that that's all changing. The military's waking up.
Definitely. I think just from what I've been seeing, we are offering way more resources.
Good.
So
Good. I read somewhere that you guys are a commodity. I mean, you're an asset. The government spent a lot of money to train you.
Yes.
So
Yes, they do.
why are they going to let you go so fast? Like
Oh, yes.
some of those have West Point educations that they're just letting that they commit suicide. And a lot of the mothers, I read an article, the wives said that they knew that their husband was going to kill themselves, but every time they asked him, he said, no, I'm not going to kill myself. It's that badge of honor that we're talking about.
It is.
So what can I do as a civilian to help someone that's going through PTSD? And if someone is the PTSD, what can they do as a tool to help them?
I feel like as a civilian, if you're around someone close to you that you think is suffering from post-traumatic stress, I would try to get help for them. I would talk to them about it, and I would see what resources are available.
And I would say don't take it's okay, I'm fine, I got this under control.
Do not.
Focus on their actions and what they're doing.
Exactly.
Now let's go to the heavier one. The people out there that are watching right now that haven't been able to help themselves. What tips do you have for them?
If you feel like you are suffering from any type of trauma, but PTSD is what we're talking about, reach out. There are lots of resources. Psychology Today is a huge resource. I have a website, glowupcounseling.com. If you're still active, reach out. We have shirts. Our first sergeants. Talk to your first sergeant. Chaplains are always a resource, and everything that you tell your chaplain is confidential. We have mental health clinics, we have BHOP, we have Military One Source, and even the Airmen and Family Readiness Center for the Air Force.
The resources are very important.
Yes.
Resources.
Oh, yes.
What about any kind of like tapping or any of that stuff that you hear people do to calm themselves down? Any of that kind of stuff?
So that's
Got to breathe through it,
it's
Sheila.
like self-soothing
Yes,
techniques.
right.
So yeah, and those things do help. If you feel like that's something that's helpful, children do it. We do it all. We suck thumbs. We
We
cuddle.
do.
We hold. Sometimes cold helps or heat helps or fur. We have weighted blankets now. So there's a lot of different self-soothing techniques.
I
Yes.
didn't even think about that. Yeah, you're right. Anything that helps you get through that intense emotional anxiety that we're
Yes.
hearing about the soldiers have. So to all you soldiers out there, I would just like to say thank you from the bottom of
Yes.
my heart, and everyone here at the Kathie J Show. Thank you for your service. To all the families out there, I know you're serving just as much. And Sheila also said there's resources for families of military members as well.
Definitely. So if you're not able, if you're a spouse or if your child is having a hard time, go to Air Force, go to Military One Source.
There you go.
Or Airmen and Family Readiness. They have resources too.
Thank you so much, Sheila. Everyone, have a great day. And again, go to glowupcounseling.com to get more information.